What's going on, you guys? Riley here. So on today's episode of Downgrading with RP, we're going to be talking about why I am selling the Corvette. So I'll be your host, King Downgrade. Well, let's get started. Woo. Quiet mode. Loud mode. Quiet mode. Alright, so no, this video is not clickbait. I am in fact selling the Corvette after 5 months of ownership, which went by really quickly. And quite honestly, this is a video I've gone back and forth on if I wanted to even film and post to begin with, but here I am. We'll film it. So first off, yes, I am in fact selling my 2012 Grand Sport Corvette. Nothing wrong with the car. It's not the car's fault. We'll get into all that stuff in a little bit. But this car is for sale currently. I also ordered a 2019 vehicle, which is going to be my long-term daily driver vehicle that I keep for a long time. So the constant switching cars every so often is going to come to a stop. So I ordered the next vehicle about 3 weeks ago, and generally it takes 6 to 8 weeks when you order a vehicle for it to show up. So I should be about a month away from taking delivery of that car. And of course, there will be many videos on that car as well. But it's not going to be a crazy in-depth build where we, put a cam in it and all that fun stuff. So you guys will learn more about the new car in the near future, but just know it's going to still be something cool and fast and sounds good and blah, blah, blah. It's just a vehicle that I plan to keep for a long time. It's a little bit more practical than that right there. Now, when it comes to selling the Corvette, I really had no intentions of selling this car so quickly. I kind of bought it 5 months ago as like well, I have an automotive YouTube channel and I've never really, had a modified car. I always had just basically stock cars with like a muffler delete, and it was kind of weird to me having an automotive YouTube channel with all these stock cars. I was like, I want to do something a little bit different. So that was kind of where I sprung the idea upon myself of like, hey, I'm going to get a C6 Corvette. And I have no regrets at all with that. This car has been an absolute blast. It's been more fun than the Hellcat, more fun than the Scat Pack, more fun than my Camaro 1LE. That thing is an absolute blast. So to whoever buys it, you're gonna have a hell of a time. But over the months, I've taken this car from a bone stock Corvette into what it is now, added just over 100 horsepower, spent about $10,000 on it, and overall had a really great time with this car. But now, as I look back on all this stuff and look forward to the future, I'm just kind of realizing that my life goals and my life priorities are a little bit different now as compared to what they were. So if you've been following the channel for a little while, you'll know that I am getting married in about 10 months to my awesome fiance. And after we get married, we plan to either buy a house or get a townhouse or something along those lines. And in order to do that, you obviously need a source of income and you obviously need a good credit. So the way I'm kind of looking at things is if I can sell this car now, buy something else, well then about 10 months from now, my credit score would kind of be back up to a good number, because you kind of take a hit when you close an account, aka sell a vehicle, and also when you open an account. So the more I look at things, I realize that now is probably a better time to sell this car. That gives me some time to get good credit and prepare for either buying a house or townhouse or whatever happens, and also preparing for other living expenses such as buying furniture, healthcare, like all these things that you don't really get taught in school and that happen in life that you got to pay for. And I've been doing YouTube full time for about 3 years now, and everything has been great. I absolutely love doing YouTube, but just looking at this realistically, this is my senior year of college, so I'm going to be taking the hardest classes that I have taken pretty much my entire life, and I'm just not going to have as much time to devote to building a race car as I usually would. So that's kind of where I'm at with the whole YouTube thing. Is I'm still going to be doing YouTube. Yes, there will still be plenty of videos with a new car, but I'm just not going to have as much time to really devote myself to doing all these elaborate things to just kind of grow my YouTube channel. And that kind of leads me to my next topic. So since I will be graduating, I'll be finding a career probably in the automotive industry. Still working at Mob Auto Boutique, doing car detailing and all that fun stuff. But I'd really like to go work for a company and use my marketing degree for something and benefit the company with my skills and knowledge. So still looking actively for a career. But as I said, YouTube will always be a side thing. It's my hobby, it's my passion. I love filmmaking, love photography, and I've built this little community that I'm just super proud of and super impressed with. And if you would have told me that I'd have 115,000 subscribers a few years ago, I'd have been like, that's impossible. So that kind of summarizes things. I could sit here and make this a longer video like it was the first time I recorded it, but that's probably a good summary. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. If you're one of those people who is going to get mad or upset that I am selling a car for a different car, well then maybe this is not the channel for you, and there's plenty other good content creators out there. But to those of you who have stuck with me through all of my car buying and selling stuff, I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. I hope I've been able to give you guys some variety on this channel and give you some stuff that maybe I've taught you something. Maybe you found something humorous. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I got to do this for myself. My future goals and planning and family and all this other stuff kind of takes priority over wrapping my car the same color as a fishing lure and doing all these things that I've done in the past, which were fun, and I don't regret a single one of them, but just going forward, I gotta kind of prioritize things a little bit better. So as I said, the Grand Sport is going up for sale. I've already listed it on my Instagram. I have a few interested people, but honestly, you never know who's serious about this type of stuff and who's not. So until I get a check or whatever, then I'm gonna have it listed for sale. But it's a 2012 Grand Sport with like 34,000 miles, and I'll put the entire list of all the mods and kind of background information about this car on the screen right now, so you can take a look. You can pause the video and read through all of that if you're interested in buying it. As I said to start this video off, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this car. The worst thing about this car that I could possibly tell somebody would be this little guy right here, which, as you can see, there's a tiny little rock chip in the fender, but it's filled in with a paint pen, and that is literally the only defect or anything wrong with this car. That is it right there. Everything else is basically perfect. And honestly, if I owned this car about a year ago in my life, I would still have it. I'd still keep it. I would still be enjoying this car. I more than likely will buy another C6 someday in my life if I'm not in the financial position to buy a Gen 5 Viper, because a Gen 5 Viper is my true dream car, but this is kind of like a realistic, just fun weekend cruiser car, and I've had an absolute blast with it. So hopefully I will be in a position where I can get another one. But first off, I have some other adult responsibilities that I got to take care of between finding a house and starting a family and just all the other stuff that goes along with growing up. I would just rather devote my money, my time, my effort into all of that as opposed to a car at this time of my life. So hopefully you guys are understanding where I'm coming from. Just trying to be real with you guys and lay everything out on the table for you. Not trying to hide anything. The next car that I am buying will be a Mopar product, so to all of my Mopar followers, hooray. But now I'm gonna go ahead and send it back to the previous video that I recorded where I did a closing segment, so I'll play that for you guys. But yeah, that is kind of the backstory on why I bought and am selling the Corvette, and yeah, fun times. I mean, seriously, how could that get old for anybody? I absolutely love it. Also, in case you guys couldn't tell by the scenery, I am back living in San Antonio, Texas, which is a lot prettier than Houston. But that's where all the cool roads are. So this thing it's just right at home for some nice back roads. So that's what we're gonna do right now. This is kind of what I mean by San Antonio is a lot prettier than Houston. Houston is just flat everywhere with concrete. And then San Antonio, you actually get some, as they call it, the Texas Hill Country. And it's, well, hilly, I guess. But it makes for some pretty cool driving roads. There's some back roads out here that are my absolute favorite. So I'm really gonna miss having a car that is actually good on back roads. That's one of this car's strengths, is just, go out for a cruise in the evening, take the top off, go down a back road, and it's just so enjoyable. So that's probably gonna be the thing I miss the most. But honestly, I think with just about any car, you could make the most out of it and have an enjoyable time out here. But yeah, San Antonio, shout out to all my San Antonio viewers. This place is awesome. This is also one of my favorite spots to go to, as you can probably see. But yeah, just kind of interesting because, in a few years from now, I'm sure they're going to start building neighborhoods and everything will get developed out here. But for now, it's nice and peaceful. So you guys, as I said, I'm going to leave you with all of the, I guess you'd call it the mod list and all the information on this car. So if anybody's interested in buying it, I left my email down below at the bottom of that little list there, or you can message me on Instagram. We can work something out. Really, the be really simple for somebody. We're going to go through a dealership. I'll explain all of the details in a direct message, but yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward. For those of you who do not get upset every time I switch cars, I thank you for that. For those of you who will miss the Corvette, I'm right there with you. I'm going to miss it too. And for those of you who are going to bitch and complain in the comments section, I enjoy reading your comments, and should be great fun. So keep an eye out for some final videos with the Corvette that will be coming out within the next month or so. I guess it's going to be the last month or so that I own this car, but I still have a few videos that I do want to make with this car, and of course some other videos that do not relate to this car that will be coming out in the coming month as well. And then hopefully you guys will at least stick around to see what the new car is going to be. I think some of you will really like it, some of you will probably hate it, whatever. But yeah, should be some good fun still left to come. But thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.